Sure, he's into Afro Sheen, but I like doing my own thing. And I know Afro Sheen is great for hair that's natural or straight. Before I decide on what I'll do, I always start with Afro Sheen shampoo. I don't worry about my hair looking dry with conditioner and hairdress standing by. And when there's a problem with itching and flakes, the medicated has got what it takes. When I want my look to say, all right, a cornrow is really out of sight. Comb Easy makes it a breeze to comb through and braid with natural ease. And Spray for Sheen adds that extra touch for the glow in my hair he loves so much. I may change my hairstyles frequently, but change from Afro Sheen, hey, not me.
Afro Sheen. For all that Afro means.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the LifeScope channel. I'm your host, Raina.
And I'm your co-host, Will. You know, Raina, we all have moments where we wish we could get someone else to handle our responsibilities for a day.
Oh, for sure. Like sending a stand-in to the DMV? I'd sign up for that. But the story we have today takes that concept from a funny thought
Right.
to a full-blown felony.
Let's set the scene. We're in Macomb County, Michigan. A 34-year-old man named Mark McCracken receives a court order.
Okay.
He has to go take a DNA paternity test.
A pretty straightforward, if not, stressful situation for some. But instead of just going, McCracken allegedly came up with a plan.
Oh, boy.
He organized for another man, 36-year-old Derek Harrison, to go in his place.
So let me get this straight. Harrison just walks into the Macomb County Administration Building,
Yeah.
signs in with McCracken's name,
Wow.
and then gives his own DNA sample for this legally mandated test.
That's exactly what prosecutors say happened. The county prosecutor, Peter Lucido, he didn't mince words, calling the allegations truly outrageous.
I'll bet.
He emphasized that his county takes child support matters extremely seriously.
I should hope so. This isn't just avoiding a responsibility.
Right.
It's a calculated attempt to deceive the court. You're turning a family court issue into a criminal conspiracy.
Exactly.
The logic is it's baffling to me.
And the legal system agrees with you, Will.
Good.
The charge isn't avoiding a test. Both men were arraigned on a felony charge.
Okay.
Tampering with evidence.
And here's the part of the story that it made my jaw drop. Because both men have a history and are considered habitual offenders, this charge carries a maximum penalty of
Oh, no.
15 years in prison.
15 years. Let that sink in. To avoid the possibility of child support,
Yeah.
you risk a decade and a half of your life behind bars. The risk-reward calculation.
Right.
It's a catastrophic failure in judgment.
Totally. The outcome was predictable. Both men were caught, arrested, and booked into Macomb County Jail. The scheme to avoid one problem created a far, far more serious one.
It's a story about deception, terrible decision-making,
Yeah.
and the serious consequences that follow. And it leaves us with a question for all of you listening.
Now here's a question we'd like you to think about. What do you believe is a just punishment for a crime like this, where the deception is not just against the court,
Right.
but could fundamentally impact a child's identity and future?
Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit. We've got a few really intense stories that have been all over the news this past week. And I think they're really worth talking about.
Yeah, let's do it. And we should probably warn everyone, these are pretty dark. The first one is just It's an absolute tragedy. It's about the Reiner family.
It's just devastating. So Nick Reiner, the 31-year-old son of director Rob Reiner and actress Michelle Singer,
Wow.
he's been arrested and charged with murdering both of his parents.
It's just an unthinkable crime. They were found stabbed to death in their home. And now some details are emerging about Nick's mental state.
Right.
And they paint a really harrowing picture. A source told TMZ that he's currently calm but in a fog. And he appears dazed in jail.
That description is so specific and it's just so chilling. It really speaks to the core of this tragedy,
Yeah.
which is his documented history of severe mental illness. He apparently has a diagnosis of schizophrenia, and reports are saying that his medication was recently changed.
Oh, wow.
And that allegedly caused him to become extremely erratic and dangerous.
And that's exactly where the legal battle is going to be centered. His lawyers will almost certainly pursue a defense of not guilty by reason of insanity, but it's complicated by the fact that he also reportedly had a history of substance abuse.
The prosecution will probably argue that if he was willingly using drugs,
Right. He could undermine the whole insanity defense, kind of like how you can't use being drunk as an excuse for a crime.
it's just an absolute catastrophe from every single angle. It feels like a systemic failure. You have this prominent family, presumably with access to the best resources, and they're trying to manage a loved one's severe illness, and it still ends in the most horrific way imaginable. My heart just breaks for everyone involved.
It's a complete nightmare. From one deeply disturbing story to another that is just profoundly bizarre. Let's go to Miami,
Yeah.
where a woman was found dead inside the walk-in freezer of a Dollar Tree.
This story is so strange, I had to read it like 3 times. So the victim has been identified as Ellen Maciel Garay Sanchez. She was only 32 years old, a mother of 2 children,
Oh, no.
and an accomplished anesthesiologist from Nicaragua. An employee opening the store in the morning is the one who found her.
And this is where it gets really, really weird. The police have come out and said they do not suspect foul play. And I have to ask, how does a person just wander into a commercial freezer and die, and it's not considered suspicious? To make it even stranger, the initial dispatch audio mentioned that she was found naked. How does that happen by accident?
I have no idea. It's completely baffling. Like, was it a freak accident? Or some kind of medical emergency that caused disorientation? I've read that most modern walk-in freezers have internal safety releases.
Right.
So did this one fail? Or maybe she didn't know it was there? And the detail about her being naked just adds a whole other layer of mystery that is just so hard to square with an accident.
It's just so tragic. This woman was a doctor. She was a mother. For her story to end like this in such a strange and unexplained way is just heartbreaking. Her family has started a GoFundMe to bring her body back to Nicaragua, and they are desperate for answers. I just can't imagine what they're going through.
I hope they get some clarity. It's a true mystery. All right, let's pivot to our final story. This one is less tragic and more, well, let's say pathetic, I guess. The controversial influencer Andrew Tate had his big comeback boxing match.
Oh, and it was quite the spectacle. He fought Chase Damore, the reality TV star from Too Hot to Handle, in a Misfits main event.
Yes.
And Andrew Tate, the former multi-time kickboxing world champion, he lost.
And he didn't just lose, he got tired and he looked awful doing it. From what I read, he looked decent for about 2 rounds, using his actual striking skills.
Right.
But then his cardio just completely abandoned him. He was visibly exhausted.
Exactly. Damore, who was much bigger and younger, basically just had to lean on him and absorb a few shots. By the later rounds, Tate was getting pushed around, just trying to survive. The reactions from professional fighters were brutal. UFC legend Michael Bisping just tweeted,
What'd he say?
"This is hilariously bad."
There is a certain satisfaction, I have to admit, in seeing a guy who has built an entire brand on being the pinnacle of male performance, the top G, get totally gassed out and beaten by a guy from a Netflix dating show. It's like watching a myth crumble in real time.
It does puncture the persona, but it also brings up a more serious conversation. Should a man who is currently facing charges for rape and human trafficking in Romania
Yeah.
be given this kind of global platform? He got a huge payday and a ton of attention from this. Does a loss in the ring really counteract the normalization of his celebrity?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The whole event felt a little grimy because of his involvement. Sure, his ego might be bruised,
But his bank account is not.
it was a spectacle, and he was at the center of it. It feels like, in the end, he still got what he wanted.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue with no easy answers. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. When it comes to controversial public figures, where do we draw the line between deplatforming them entirely and allowing them a stage where they might publicly fail? Does one serve the public good more than the other?
That's all the time we have for today on the LifeScope channel.
We'll see you next time.